Shalom, shalom. All praises to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Yahawashi. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahawashi is to the world, and he calls Jesus Christ. Rakakwadash in the ancient Paleo Hebrew is the Holy Spirit. And double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who been ruling the wealth of the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word, regardless if you accept it or not. And Lord willing, the Most High continue to put in their spirit to endure. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect, scattered four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put it on their spirit to endure and to strive. Shalom to the wives and the single sisters that's believers in His word. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put on your spirit to pursue to be a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. This is a quick exhortation. The title of this lesson, Lord willing, is titled, Not Everyone That Say Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi Shall Be Saved. You got to be serious. You have to mean it. And of course, you have to believe. You have to do the will of the Most High, which is, rehearsing the righteous acts, which goes into you seeking the Lord's face, seeing, rereading the miracles, the works, and the judgments of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Let alone while you're reading, you're going to come across the law. And we should be doing these things because it pleases the Most High. So first, I'm going to start with Matthew chapter 7, verse 21. It says, Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. So we do the will of the Most High, because it orchestrated all the way from Genesis, all the way to Moses, what the Lord required of us. Let alone throughout all the scriptures, we supposed to be moving like the children of the Spirit. This is Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doeth Yahawah thy power require of thee? So Yahawah is the power of Israel, and he demands, he requires us, but to fear the Lord thy power, to walk in all his ways, to love him, to serve Yahawah thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes which I command thee this day for thy good. And the Lord recorded this. He recorded this. The heaven and the earth recorded this against us. Let me see if I can do it faster with this. Salaki family. I am trying to look for this precept. Safe and two. This is Malachi chapter 6, verse 8. He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doeth Yahawah require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with the Most High. And to do justly is to do righteously. We have to righteously judge. Of course, we're judging based off the law, let alone the stature of somebody in the spirit, the inward man. The children of Israel, we were made, to stand up with great boldness, but let alone we were supposed to correct one another. We were supposed to be each other's backbone. We were supposed to be to uplift a brother, pull him back this way. That's where you get edification from. This is where you get exhortation from, right? When we go to Ecclesiastes, let me go to that. Back to the basics. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, and I'm going to read verse 13 and 14 in the NLT. Right? The last two verses. In the NLT it says, But my child, let me give you some further advice. Be careful, for writing books is endless, and much study wears you out. That's the whole story. Here now is my final conclusion. Fear the Most High and obey His commands. For this is everyone's duty in Israel. So you would have to go to the schoolmaster to find out what thou shalt do and what thou shouldn't do. And you master it. But if you are of the Spirit, if you're moving in the Spirit, and you're walking like Yahawashi, how we ought to be, it should be natural to you. It's natural, let alone when we're a child and our mothers and fathers is teaching us. You know, and it's the same if you teach a kid how to play the game. You teach a kid how to cross the street. You teach a kid how to put on clothes, how to dress their clothes. Eventually, they catch on and are able to do it themselves. You know? So that's why we need to study the requirements and the ways of the Most High to please Him, you know, not oneself. The last verse 14, it says, the Most High will judge us for everything we do, including every secret thing, whether good or bad. So you're going to be judged on the good and the bad that you do, you know? And this is a very crucial time where you got, you hearing about martial law, you hear about feminine the word, you hearing a lot of people getting exposed in the industry, which they should have been did it. Your favorite gangster rapper making songs saying, hey, I hope everybody forgive me for what I did with Diddy. You know, we got a whole lot going on, but this is even more how the Most High shows His power, man. Because deaths grow at a high rate. You know, the wicked is getting exposed. And His brothers in here saying, Lord, Lord. They're saying Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And they really faking the funk. You know? And the Lord probably using them, you know, because somebody probably heard one good precept and the Lord used them to wake up a sheep. But at the end, the Lord probably removed them and had them go somewhere else. Because that man is teaching for his doom. You know? A lot of us say Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, and we might not get the kingdom. You know? That's why I'm going to drop that. I'm going to drop that. Which, if anybody want, you can get Deuteronomy 6 and 5. You can get Matthew 22, verse 37. You know? Because the Lord told us to have a fresh garment on, which is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. If we don't come with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High, He's going to throw you in outer darkness, which, you know, some of them is back in this world, but outer darkness is that ICBM missile, you know, being destroyed, you know. Just because I said that I was going to go somewhere else. But let's go to Hosea. Chapter 8, verse 2. It says, Israel shall cry unto me, my power, we know thee. You know, and who is really crying to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi? The elect on this side. You know, the 2/3 is not calling on the Lord. It's a video that I just did the other day, talking about you smite the shepherd and the sheep will be scattered. You know, but the ones that's gonna be saved is the ones that come back to the Lord and believe in Him. It's really the elect. Let alone when we go into Romans, the 11th chapter, when it deals with the grafted in, you know, because the ones that got cut off didn't believe in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Because if you don't believe in Yahawashi, you never really believed in the Most High. And the Lord grafted them back in. Why did He? Because of the true believers out of the ones that didn't believe came back and they started to believe in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Right? This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 7. It says, Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the men that is my fellow, saith Yahawah of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahawah, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahawah is my power. Right? And who is boldly calling the name of the Lord? You know, the true men of the Lord and the sisters. Just like the one brother that's in Great Millstone, right? The sister went to the doctors, and she was thinking of this charagma because of a situation, you know, of a new system that they have where they scan your hand. And she started to cry and got hit. It just hit her, and then she just knew. She's like, call Allah Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. GMS is the men of the Lord, you know? And it's other brothers that's in the midst, that's in the same understanding, that are the true men of the Lord, you know? Every day I get to see the brothers that I labor with. You know, we ain't no better than a freaking leaf, you know? But for the Lord to have brothers do videos and they singing the same song, and brothers is not saying, hey, what lesson you gonna do today? And brothers just laying me in back. Brothers going through something, and a brother is like going through something, and they say, yo, this is what I was meditating on or thinking of, and a brother get confirmation, you know, just like what happened to me today. You know, the Lord be flowing through his true believers. And I'm not saying, hey, yo, brother, you might be the elect. Hey, you could just chill. I mean, just knowing that the Lord is dealing with you don't mean shit. You know, it does mean something. Salaki. I don't want anybody to get offended. But, you know, if the Lord dealing with you, you want to keep doing it. You know, they're just like a father. If, like a child, when they get loved by their father, they have a good time. They want more, you know. A woman, she's loved correctly. She's happy. She wants more. That's why they get so addicted. This is why a woman is going to want to be under a man that's treating them with love and leadership and correction. They're going to want more, you know. And the real children of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, they want more. So they calling on his name. You know, we like little Solomons in the spirit, because a lot of us is growing back into the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, you got to crave it. You got to ask the Lord, I want more. But just going off of praising the Lord's name, this is Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am Yahawah their power. For I will give them a heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. What would cause us to go into the highways and byways is because we're fools for the Lord. We believe in his foolish teaching, because it makes sense to us, because we might be those true believers. We might, you know, a man that's striving for the Lord, you know, he's hoping that he's of that number. And if you hoping, you're going to keep moving, because you hope on something you don't see. Niggas don't see if they are, but it feels good. The lesson I was just watching from the brothers in Cali, you know, it feels good to bring out the scriptures. Even when you did wrong and a brother correcting you, if you have that right spirit and you're not uncontentious and you're hearing what the brothers are saying, it's very home welcoming. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 21. For after that, in the wisdom of the Most High, the world by wisdom knew not the Most High. It pleased the Most High by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. So if you're a true believer, you're going to take heed to this foolish preaching. It don't really matter what teacher you listening to. Yes, the Lord made a teacher that sounds good for you, that gives you that right vibe, the way they word delivery. They might say a little jokes in here. The Lord chose the one that chose certain teachers that you're going to watch. They're singing the same thing. They might have different deliveries, but they're for you, you know. But you're going to take heed and cleave to foolish preaching. Not that shabba-dabba-doo-dong. That's stupid. We talking about this real wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's true the Lord made. You know, this is foolish to the Lord. And it's only by this foolish preaching the elect will come back, because Romans 11:7. The election have obtained it, but the rest were blind. Because this truth, this gospel, this ministry was hid. It was hid. The Lord hid it. We understand 1 Timothy 1 and 12. The Lord enables the men and the women, really the men, that have faith. So he put those men in the ministry. That's why I said the men and the women, but really the men, because the men are the ministry. Without the men is no ministry. This is a cold, plain fact, because a woman is not really teaching no grown-ass man. You know, it's men. The Lord is using men to teach foolish preaching, to wake up and you know, rebuke and correct the true believers. 33, it says, "And return from their stiff neck, from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before Yahawah." How are they going to remember? It's because they're going to dive in and seek Yahawah. Baruch chapter 4, verse 28, it says, "For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more." To grow in this knowledge, you're going to have to take a break in your world, if you can. And you're going to have to get your hands dirty by seeking Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. You got to get clean, you know? And we get clean by the washing of the word. We get clean by the word. St. John 15 and 3, you know? This is 1 Chronicles, a verse I bring out fluently, but we have to continue bringing it out because it hits us in our membrane. This is 1 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 11. Let me start at 10. It says, "Glory ye in his holy name. Let the heart of them rejoice that seek Yahawah. Seek Yahawah in his strength. Seek his face continually. Remember his marvelous work that he have done, his wonders, and the judgment of his mouth." He said, just be those that say, "Lord, Lord," just because you say "Lord, Lord," don't mean you get in the kingdom. So we got to remember the power of the Lord. The Lord really destroyed a multitude of people and only saved 8. The Lord put it on, because you got to know, Noah's where we all have a weak flesh. And you got to think, Noah had to hear babies crying. Agony, let alone brothers be posting it on some of their videos of Noah looking out a window and seeing these people drown. You got to, the Lord is like, the Lord had to hold him and his children and say no. And then you see in the movie where a son is like, you know what, let me get them in here. No, when you read in the scriptures, the Lord, you know, righteously, these men had the right wife, you know, to bring back the nations. But that's a harsh moment in history to know that the Lord really wiped niggas away, you know, let alone when Moses came down from Mount Sinai. Before we even got into the land, how many times the Lord was killing people. By the time he went there, it was a younger group of people getting into Israel, because everybody that was over 20 died, except for Caleb and Joshua. The Lord is not playing, you know? So if you ain't really serious about the requirements or the will of the Most High, believing in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, you will be cut off. You know, you freaking sticks is going to get thrown into the fire. This is why you always want to examine your own self to see if you are in the faith. Because we're not in the Lord's kingdom yet. Let alone the kingdom is within you, which is if you have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's the first start, just like what Apostle Gabar said on Tuesday. That's the start of getting the kingdom, is with the kingdom being within you. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, bring forth 100% truth. Starting with the prophecies of understanding the charagma, understanding the mark of exemption in Ezekiel 9 and 4, understanding Jacob's trouble, understanding the position of the nation, salvation, you know. And outside of all of those things, on the position of the other nations. But we have to get back and examine ourselves as men and as women. Do we really believe in the Lord? Are we really doing His will? And every day you should see your faith through your work. You should see your work through your faith. And this is like an on drive, you know. What will cause a man to strive for the Lord? You know, because the Lord woke him up. This is Matthew chapter 25, verse 1 to 11. This right here, this is, you know, I want to be the ones that was wise. It says, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. You know, and while you in this, while you still have a chance, while that sun is coming up and the sun going down, work on not being the foolish. You know, and you got to think, if they foolish, they had to be the children that was born of the flesh. It says they were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. That wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, it says, but the wise took oil in their vessels with the lamp. Right? So like over here. Okay. Verse 4, it says, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough oil for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourself. Get your own. You know, you ain't about to get mine. Yo, we a team, we in this. But he already told us, go get your, what'd he say? Go get your lamp. And what'd he say? The foolish didn't want to take no oil. You didn't want to take no oil. And this is where it goes into, you know, righteously judging your brother. You already got your beam out because you got your oil. But you're going to tell this brother like, yo, bro, go buy you some dang oil because you should have got it when, you know what we had to do. You knew what we had to do just like I did, you know. Verse 10, it says, and while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut because they were ready. They were ready. Just like Matthew 22. You got to have that right garment, which is that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that oil. And if you don't got it, the door will be shut. You out of luck, nigga. Now the door's shut, you just knocking on the door. And they don't let you in. By the time that door open is when the party is over. You know, verse 11, afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open up. But he answered and said, verily, verily, I say unto you, I know you not. You got to come prepared because the Lord lays it out with the blueprint. He gave you everything you need to do his work, you know, but you still chose not to. Let's go to Luke chapter 6, verse 46, which goes into building on a firm foundation. And why call me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? I told you to go get your wedding garment. I told you to go get your lamp. And of course, you got a lamp. You need to put oil in it. So when I come, you should be ready. Just like you telling your girl, yo, look, I'm coming at 6. So make sure you ready. You get there and you sitting up in the 20 minutes, man, you be like, yo, I was still putting my makeup on. So when did you, oh, I started to get ready at, you know, 5:45 because I didn't know if you was going to be here. No, be on time. And guess what? What if you was one of them brothers and you just pulled off? Then she going to have an attitude. No, we made a date. This in real life, this is why I don't do dates. You know, it's better just to be spontaneous. But at the end of the day, why would we say, Lord, Lord, and not do the things that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi wants us to do? And he gave you the blueprint. It's just like work. You're going to stock. This is what you're going to do. And now they got a job they got to do. Then they leave and they be like, yo, what's up? I told you to stack all this. What's going on? Oh, I forgot what I had to do. Or you didn't know, or you didn't pay attention, or you didn't do it. and then now you get fired. You know, the Lord told us that we have a requirement, a demand, right? Just like, let's go to this one, and I'm not making this one long because I know this is where Christians, you know, hurt themselves. This is St. John chapter 3 verse 16. It says, "For the Most High so loved the world," which is the world of Israel, because when we go into context, this is Yahawashi speaking to Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. He's only a ruler of the Jews. So Yahawashi is telling him, for the Most High so loved the world of Israel, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. When you see Isaiah 52 and 53, you know, you got to understand the Lamb was going to give up himself. We can double back, Zechariah 13. It says, smite the shepherd and the sheep will be scattered. Yahawashi tells you that he is the good shepherd. You know, St. John, the 10th chapter, he says he is the good shepherd. You know, so we have to believe in Yahawashi. If we believe in Yahawashi, we will not perish. But if we don't believe in Yahawashi, you already dead. You're just waiting on that time to come, right? Let's go to Romans, the 11th chapter, because this is where, you know, Christianity slips up. You know, Romans, the 11th chapter, verse 19. It says, "Thou wilt say, then the branches were broken off, that I might be grafted in." Right? And what branches was that's the northern kingdom. But if we want to put it as a whole spectrum of Israel that don't follow the Lord, it's Israel being cut off from Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi that didn't truly believe in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. It says, well, because of unbelief they were broken off, and thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear. We have to go back. Who is the Most High for? The God of Israel. When we understand Psalms, Psalms 147, 19 and 10. He gave the word in judgments unto Jacob, you know, and he never dealt with any other nation. So how can any other nation have unbelief when they're really godless? The children of Israel became unbelievers, right? It says, verse 21, it says, for if the Most High spare not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not thee. And this is why we have to examine ourselves, because if the Lord didn't spare the natural branches when we first came in, we talking about the southern and northern kingdom, and then the Lord didn't spare them and cut them off, didn't call them a nation, how the hell do you think now? You think you could just be lollygaggy? Just chilling, relaxing, being sluggard? This is why the Lord made the best story, and he knew niggas would be lost in the sauce. Because of captivity, this is the worst one out of all. You are comfortable, and they got you. And this is something that Nathan Roosevelt said. It's another one. You know, to believe in the Lord, you have to know who your enemies is. And it's supposed to make you mad at this world. Right? So let's see. Nathan Roosevelt said, and I think I'm going to keep saying this in multiple videos. I don't know how it just keep coming up. It says, I care not what puppet is placed upon the throne of England to rule the empire on which the sun never sets. The man who controls Britain's money supply controls the British Empire, and I control the British money supply. So who controls American money supply? It comes from the same root and the same family. Know your enemies, and this should make you draw to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, because you can have a better relationship with Yahawah than these wicked elites, because they're working on their end time plan while you trying to come up with a contingent plan, like how can I live my best life more, or how can I get over here. We all have those dreams, man. Let me get this car. Let me get that. Shoot, I got something I want. But I'm telling you, to want that kingdom, you know, to want to be in good peace, with my brothers and sisters and with Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, I need to strive for something that's everlasting and not something that's temporary. Verse 22, it says, behold, therefore, the goodness of subversity of the Most High on them which fell subversity, but towards thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness, otherwise thou also shalt be cut off. What is the goodness of the Lord? You know, the sincere milk, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Why would he tell you in Wisdom of Solomon, the 8th chapter, verse 4, swallow down understanding and devour wisdom? Why would he tell you that? Because when a man gets enough wisdom, he gets understanding. When a man get enough wisdom, he starts to understand Yahawah. He starts to understand Yahawashi, because Yahawashi is wisdom. Wisdom is that spiritual name, which, you know, in the Greek is called Sophia. But in the flesh, he is Yahawashi. You know, wisdom is the word of mouth, but wisdom all comes from Yahawah, which the Lord gave Lord gave power to Yahawashi and gave him wisdom. You know, and this is why we have to come in this thing and be true believers. When we see what I'm about to bring out now, why this had to happen to them? Because they must have wasn't being doers to the ways of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. This is Acts chapter 19, verse 13 to 16. It says, then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Yahawashi, saying, we adjourn you by Yahawashi, whom Paul preacheth. That right there, whom Paul did, we adjourn you by Yahawashi, whom Paul preacheth. And there were 7 sons of Sakava, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahawashi I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye? And we got to go all the way back to 1 Samuel 16 and 17. The Lord said he looks in the inward heart. So the Lord knew that these fools, they not the men of the Lord. It says, and the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them. So instead of they thinking that they doing exorcists, that spirit just leaped off of that man and hopped on them. You can't be the man of the Lord if it's moving in that motion. It says, it overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of that house naked and wounded. You know, true believers is not getting hit like that. Yes, we do have speed bumps, you know, but that's what comes with long suffering and the mercy of the Lord. But no wicked spirit is going to stay in a righteous vessel too long. Sometimes it's just a temptation to make you trip or to make you walk away from the Lord, just like Job. You know, the Lord knows who his elect is, and he goes a little different on them than he do wicked Jake or the nations. I'm going to read this in the KJV and the NLT. This is Romans chapter 2, verse 13. First, I'm going to read in the KJV. It says, it's very plain. It says, for not the hearers of the law are just before the Most High, but the doers of the law shall be justified. Right? That just goes with the James 1 and 22. Verse 13 again in the NLT. It says, you know what? I'm going to read 12 to 13. It says, when the Gentiles sin, they will be destroyed, even though they never had the Most High's written law. And the Jews who do have the Most High's law will be judged by that law when they fail to obey it. For merely listening to the law doesn't make us right with the Most High. It is obeying the law that make us right in his sight. Right? Because the Northern Kingdom, they fell away from the law and they was cleaving to the other nation. They were the first ones to be dispersed. You know, especially under Rehoboam. You know, the Northern Kingdom went totally away from the Lord. You know, but the Southern Kingdom, the Lord still had them had the Southern Kingdom in his hands. Of course, some of us still walked away from the Lord, you know, but we still had the law. We heard the law, just like Judges 5 and 11, rehearsing the righteous acts, is reading them again, bringing them out again, and doing them. So this is, being justified is actually obeying the law by doing it. And if you are walking and living in the spirit, it should be natural, like human flesh. I mean, not human flesh, but, this is natural. It should be a natural thing to you in your mind to serve Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. It's not a question asked. This is James chapter 1, verse 22. A classic, like my brother say. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. Don't just be a hearer, but be a doer. Make moves for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, let alone if the Lord gave you a family as a man, even as a woman, you should be striving not for self, but for the ones around you, especially if you had these kids and they saying, mommy or daddy, you are striving for this kingdom for the ones that the Lord has given you. Because there's a lot of men, even in this society now in our past life, that didn't have kids or didn't have a wife. And if you got those things, you doing this more than just for yourself, So Lord willing, this was edifying. Lord willing, I probably can go into it again because there's other precepts. But like again, the title, Lord willing, is not everyone that say Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi shall be saved, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. And I stand by it. And with that, Shalom, Yahweh speed.